Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Back to the Drawing Board. I am Ted Davies, and we're going to go through another page of Retrieve Book 3. So get ready. A lot to go over today. Thanks. So I hope you guys have had a good week. Or the beginning of the week, I should say. Today we got a lot to cover. I've got a couple things that I want to do with layouts on the book still. We're still working on page 3, and I've got a couple things I've got to finish up with that, but we're going to kind of lay that out. We're going to get into page 4, get that layout done with watercolor today, and then we'll see where we're at in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I might be interrupted here. I've got a mail call I've got to grab. So I might have to disappear for a second, but not a big deal on that. First off, we want to thank everybody for stopping in. We'll get to the comments in a second. I want to say hello to everybody and talk about our sponsor, Cashman's Comics. John Cashman has been down in Bay City, Michigan for 26 years with his comic book store, and he's awesome. Check out everything he's doing as far as new comic books go. All the greats are there, including even my work is there. So check out everything that he's doing. Say hello to Petey the Guard Dog at cashmanscomics.com. We have another great thing that we're doing here, Comics Unlimited. As you guys know, number 10 is actually coming out here soon. We just got the review of it right now. We're just going over it right now. But check out everything with Comics Unlimited. It's a fantastic book that Glenn B. Fleming and I put out. Yeah, it's awesome. Check out everything with Glenn B. Fleming's Amazon account. You can see what they have to offer with the Comics Unlimited, both digital and paperback. So check out everything that we're doing with that, and look for the new one that's coming up, because it is, I think it's 100 pages. It's going to be really, really good, and it's going to be this month. So check out everything that we're doing with that. Got some really good articles. Even I wrote one, I think. Scary thought. Okay, what do we have? What's in the box, Ted? Every week we do something along the lines, because I do vintage comics. As you guys know, I sell them. We got a couple things this week. We're going to go over what we have as far as what we call slabbed comics, ones that are graded and that are actually sealed and preserved for all eternity. So let's check out what we're doing with that real quick. I'll split the screen here. Check this one out. This is a Green Lantern number 76 slabbed. It's a 3.5. We're going to be, if you guys are interested in this, let me know. I'm going to be cutting some deals on these like this week. So let me know if you're part of Ted's tribe. Get with me on this. It presents really, really well. It's a beautiful Neil cover. Check out everything on this one. It is going to definitely go up in value, I'm sure. So, and yeah, these are beautiful examples of the product that they produced back in the 70s. So it was 3.5. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 76. Then we're jumping right to Batman and Robin. This is a classic cover again. Another Neil Adams, 232, completely sealed from the guys from EGS. Tony does a great job with this. He's just amazing. This one represents at a 4.5, and very nice 4.5. Colors are beautiful. Really just in great, great shape. And again, these are investment pieces, so check it out. I'm going to be cutting deals, like I said, this week. So just let me know if you got some offers. Let me know. We've got a couple of set prices of what we're going to go with, but we're willing to work with people. So not a problem. And of course, we still have this in the queue. 9.0 Werewolf by Night number 32. Very valuable. Just going to go up in value, I'm sure. This is just a pristine, beautiful copy. It's got one little mark up there, and it's all white pages. But check out everything on that, what we're doing, because we sell quality stuff. So like I said, I'll just go back over that one more time. 232. These are moderate, and these are mid-grade, and these are entry-level grades. So it's good to have them, because I think that these are affordable and they're obtainable for a lot of people. And I'm glad that we can offer it. So, all right, let's go back here for a second. I want to say good morning to everybody. Right. Let's see what we got here. Good morning. Wow, we got a lot of people in the queue. Glenn, good morning, sir. Donna, Carl. It looks like Carl's got a cigar. All right. That's Cohiba. Nice. Donna, looks like you gave it to him. That's awesome. It's so nice. You guys enjoy that together. That's a great thing. Let's see who else we got. Got Joe Bachman in here. Good morning, Joe. And Frostbear, what's up, Pete? How you doing, man? And Eric Hawkins, what's up, man? Yeah, so we've got a lot of these. I'm really looking forward to getting these to the rightful owners soon, to the new homes as we call it. So hopefully everybody that is looking to invest will invest with us. So, all right. So today, what we're going to be doing is I want to go over what I actually. Let me show you something on this. I'm going to split the screen here. We'll go back to the normal here again. So last week, I painted it. This is actually the third page. I painted this this way. And as I was going through my notes and how I'm presenting this, I actually want to put the page this way. The way that I want to bring this in with the secondary and then the third panel, I want to bring them in like that. It's going to work better, I think. You'll understand that once I start putting some shading hues on this qualities, and then you guys can. I think you'll dig it. But I want to get into page 4 first, so we can get that to dry while we're filling this in. So, and we'll get to that in a minute here. So, yeah. So we'll get started here. Just give me a second. And like I said, I might get interrupted. I do have the mail call that's coming today is pretty important, so I have to grab that. So I might have to hop off of the show for a second. Again, we're going to start out just for the audience. I'm going to be using an ebony pencil. I've also got another one that I'm actually looking at using as well. Then also the this is the Pentex woodless pencil. This one actually is really can get really dark really fast. So, but I'd like to do that again. These are I'm going to put in just a standard border. This particular setup on this particular comic is more of an illustrative art book, if you want to call it that. So I'm using these lines loosely. It's not really. It's more so just a guideline. It's not really anything that I'm sticking to. It's just an idea for layout, just so I know kind of where I'm at, and that I can put my signature down on the bottom, what page number this is as well. Again, I do it a little bit differently than a lot of the master comic makers that are in this audience. You included, Eric. By the way, since I've got you guys here, give me 1 second. I ended up getting this in the mail last week. This is absolutely gorgeous. These turned out great. This is the trade paperback, and this is the fourth book of Zombie for World of Oz. I haven't cracked into them yet. I have looked through this, but I didn't open this yet. I haven't had time, and I really want to sit down and just read it. But one of the coolest things that my man Eric did for me was he ended up doing an Archimedes, you guys can see that, trading card for me. His version of Archimedes from my book Retrieve. So very cool, Eric. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That is actually, this is up on my shelves right now. So that is going to be in the collection, and I do appreciate it kindly. If you guys haven't checked it out, Zombie for World of Oz by Eric S. Hawkins. If you're on Indiegogo or anything, Eric, put that in the chat so people can definitely use that link to buy some stuff from you. Glenn, this is again not Eric's favorite, but it works for me for economics. This is a Canson 100-pound watercolor paper, 12 by 18. This is normally what I use. I use it on a lot of different things. You can go back and check out the other catalog, video catalogs about the other selections I've got for other art papers that I use. this seems to be the most go-to. I use it for everything, whether it's pencils, pastels, inks. But you know how I am with watercolor. So we're going to do today. Basically, we're going to go through. I want to use yellows and reds on this one. It's going to be a little bit different compared to the other panels that we've been doing. I went through a few things on this, but I want to change this, the coolness of this, to get it more into the light range with oranges and yellows. Again, all of this storytelling is based on color first, before words, before it's going to set a tone, and that's the whole thing about the book on this one. A little bit different than I'm doing this book series, or this book, excuse me, out of the series, because it's just a little bit different. I'm going to be doing, this is going to be not a whole page, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to divide this up after the paint dries. So, and I don't know if I have that time for that in this this particular show, but we'll do our best. We'll do our best. All right, let me just blow this up a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now, a lot of the times I don't wet the paper down. This particular application, I want to wet this down because I think it's going to make, and I'm using this size brush because the water, the water container I've got doesn't allow for a bigger brush. So it takes me a little bit longer. But again, this is just to get some fluid on the paper so that I can bring in some of the effects that I want. I'm going to divide this up. This is going to be with the yellow and a red. Going to turn a little orange. I've got a little bit of blue in there too. I'm going to be bringing in just to kind of blend in with what we've got from the first couple pages that was dark. If you remember the first, not technically the splash page, but the other, I guess it's the first preface page that had the chairman on it. It had a very much of a yellow tone, a little bit of reds. Then I darkened it up digitally with a vignette, which worked out really, really well. I'm really happy the way that turned out. And I want to kind of see if I can't start blending the way that this is going to work. I'll have to see how it turns out. Best thing about watercolor, you can set the plan, but you really aren't. Some people have a lot of control on it. That's the whole point of doing watercolor, is there's no control. Just like in life, we have very little control. But that's watercolor. Okay, so we're just going to get a little bit of that down. I'm going to get some of this red in there. Bring in some of these oranges, hopefully, if this goes well. And I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second. But basically what I'm trying to do is I'm going to panelize a lot of this. The different shapes I'm putting on here are going to fill in the reader and the panels of the for the reader, the panels. And you'll see it in a second. It's going to look terrible at first, but it will make a lot of sense once the pages are in play, and you'll see it. But this is, again, this is the making of the book. So you have you've got all different kinds of ways to do this. Don't feel like you're stuck in a you're all by yourself. You can do whatever you want. Don't feel like you're stuck in you have to do comics this way. You got to do comics this way. There's a lot of people out there will tell you that, oh, you got to do it this way. I just, you lose a lot of people's, and people get frustrated, right? And that's not what it's about, at least here. Okay. Some water in there. But you can see how I'm placing balance to the, I'm trying to position this a little bit. And you're going to have, some of this is glare, so just bear with it. If I turn this, you won't have that, you see. But you'll have the effects I want here in a second. You'll see. I'm going to be putting in some blue here. It's going to turn some of that yellow green. But it'll be cool. It'll look good when it's done. And a lot of this, I just want to get some colors down to where it's flaring a little bit to make your eye, just make your eye interested in what's going on here. So when they turn the page, it's going to be like, oh, dude, these colors are just intense, or they're not intense. Maybe they're something to where you don't like it, but it's going to set, it's going to set the tone for the book. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Just trying to get I'm trying to be different with it. I'm trying to build it so that people see the experiment in it all. And then I'm also going to be bringing in different, literally slices of paper in here. Not like a collage, but it's going to be very, driven to abstract. And again, it's interesting to me and how that works. I think you guys will enjoy it, though. If you like my work, you're going to enjoy it. If you don't, hopefully you still like the story. So we'll have to see how that works, but I think it's gonna work out great. And then, basically just laying out color and let it dry, let it see what happens with it. Because I think that a lot of people, they rush it and then it doesn't look good, and then they get it all muddy and it doesn't work. So, but I think that this is going to work out just fine. Then I'll lay my other underlying colors on this so that you'll see the shapes that I'm trying to accomplish with this. But I think it's really going to look good when it's done. I think you guys are going to be, going to be impressed, I hope. And it'll tell the story, it'll help tell the story. It'll direct it. Okay, so that's going to sit. I'll start working on the other one. What are you guys talking about, huh? Anything? I don't see anybody's comments. Yeah, it is a nice Archimedes, isn't it, Carl? He did a great job on that. I'm glad, and I've had a few people draw their versions of Archimedes, and it's actually quite, it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see somebody else's take on it. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, so we're going to move this off. I'm going to try to move this without dripping it all over the place, and then we'll get the other one. But you can see them kind of the abstract feel of that page. But once we start dividing it up, you'll see it more like this. You'll see it more like a precursor to what the layout's going to be. You'll see it, or what the finished layout is going to be. Okay, so now we're going to go back to page 3. What I'm going to end up doing on this is, and a lot of this, I put spaces to where I'm going to see things, shapes on this, and that's how I work with a lot of the stuff I do. The watercolor tells me a lot about what I'm going to, not what I'm going to draw, but it shows me the shapes that I'm going to use for the layout. And it sounds corny, but that's how it works for me in a lot of the cases on the drawing. When I did it this way, I was actually going to have I was actually going to have a couple different characters on this in this panel, but I'm changing that up. I've got, because the story, the way it's going to write, it's going to go through this way and then back, and I'm going to end up putting, it's very shadow line base here, and I've got a couple ideas of how I want to do it. So, but yeah, I'm just going to draw and do my thing, and then you can see it when it's done. I'm just putting down darker lines, and then I'm going to bring out some other colors in this. You'll see it probably in the next show, but this is just to give an idea of treatment. You can always take off if it doesn't look right or if it's too heavy, you can always dab it with and pull that color up. Don't feel like you're stuck once the paint's down. You got some time to work with it, not a whole lot, but you do have some time. And again, I'm just trying to put some color down on this to build up some depth. I'll bring out some more colors in a few minutes once I figure out the game plan how we're doing this, but it'll be cool once it's set up here. You'll see it. Thanks, Glenn. There's never a blank page. That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I think that people should look at whether you're writing or anything. The page isn't blank. It just hasn't shown itself yet. We all have different lenses to see that page. So whether we're brave enough to take it and do something with it, well, that's up to us. But and if you're not an artist, I mean, or if you're just a writer, you understand that too. You understand the whole thing about a blank page and how scary it can be. But really, when you think about it like that, the way I was just suggesting it, um, it has to speak to you. That's it. That is it. So just look for that. Look for what the page is telling you. These shadows will make a lot of sense later, guys. Don't feel like I'm completely losing my mind. I'm not. But the shadow work will make a lot of sense once the inks are down and everything. You'll see it. Keep in mind too, I'm trying to show space for the text too, the bubbles in that, so that people can understand what the whole story is about. You'll be seeing placements of different. That's why I left a lot of these gutters here, if you want to call them that, for text, for text bubbles and that. So I think that's going to be that'll be interesting, because I'm going to be doing something a little bit different on this book and the rest of the series. But I'm just putting this tone down just to get it'll be more prevalent, and more, you'll understand more of it later once I start layering these colors and the inks and everything else on them, the subtleness of it all. Okay, then this one. One of the things about watercolor too, it's very muted, so you have to be careful on, when you're using it. It's good, but you can't take it off. Some of the stuff with acrylics, you can do it, no problem. But some of these you just can't rework it once it happens. So, but I'm also going to layer a lot of this with colored pencil, maybe a pastel here and there. It just depends on where it goes with it. What's the story? Once I feel the story is told a little bit more, I think it's going to be, or the ease of the story, I think it's going to be beneficial. I think you guys will see what I'm talking about. And these gutter areas, depending on which page I'm on, they don't have to be forgotten. They can still be interesting. There's not something that I think there's not a written. I don't think there is written way to do it. So I know it looks like a lot of blah right now, but once it starts rolling, you guys are like, oh, okay, I get what he's doing. I understand. but I know sometimes it gets kind of Carl, crack me up. I would watch that video of you writing a book. Donna too. I think that'd be great. I think all of us can do video work like that. And I think you might be surprised. You might be helping out a lot of people when you do that. You might be very surprised. And again, the light here, it's weird because you're not really, it's not as, you're seeing a lot of color here, but it's there. It's hard to see here because the colors are really vibrant. I don't know if you can tell or not on the screen, but they're really, really bright here. So, and I think you lose it somewhat in translation, if you know what I mean. So what I'm doing is I'm building up story shadow, basically is what it is. There's a way that I want to flow this, and from top to bottom here, and then it will, once I get the lines in here, you'll understand what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of ink lining, the character back faces, these type of things. They're images. They're just to provoke and promote the story. And I think once I'm done, I think I'll succeed with it. I think that once it's understood, people are going to be like, oh, okay, that's really wicked. I like that, or I don't like it, and that's cool too. If you don't, that's okay. It just depends on. I want the story to be told the way I want it to be told. That's all. And again, just an avenue. No, Carl, do it, man. Do it. I don't think you're going to get yourself in trouble at all. I don't think so. Okay, so this one's getting kind of dry. So I'm going to move this one over. We might get into page 5. I don't know. I've got to let the stuff dry. Got to let the stuff dry because I can't very well paint it if it's still wet. So that's what we got here. But I'm going to start dabbing some of this out. I know this is Glenn's favorite part. Just taking some of that off of there. Yeah, this is a little bit too light. I want to bring in some more colors on that. That's cool. I think I can still add some there. But I like the way that this type of texture line works with the water. The way the water and the pigment, they kind of blend very easily. You see, it's a very smooth. The other pages were they were still very cut and dry, literally. This is kind of a smooth texture to it, to where it's flowing, but it's not necessarily in panel form. I can see it most likely. I'm going to have 3 panels on here, maybe 6, depending on how I manage this part of the story. But I think that this is going to look really sharp when it's all said and done. Let me add a little bit more flavor here. And in that too, there's going to be, there might be, like I said, this is, sorry about the shine on there. There might be 3 different panels on this, depending on how the angle goes. But I will definitely, I'll definitely see what, or it might be 3 panels this way. I'm not sure. Let this dry up and then we'll see where we're at with that. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to work on page 5 or 6 on this. I'm going to let this dry too. We're just kind of rolling through it. And then as we go through the course, the next few weeks, it'll be more detail and more detail and more detail. But this is the process. So. It's Paper Thunder. Okay. Do the same thing again. We'll do roughly ½ inch, roughly ½ inch around. And again, you know, this isn't precision compared to what the other guys are doing. I know a lot of them, I mean, some of these guys are all set up, they're dialed in with their templates and they're ready to roll with certain pages, and God love them. I like the creative process of it all. This, the next page, I've got it labeled that I want to bring in some more blues. And I think I'm going to do this. I'm not going to add a whole lot of water on this one because we're setting the tone for the overall. And I think you're going to, again, you've got a lot of control with these brushes because it's, you add the water, but I want to have some like roughness to it. I want it to be, kind of dry brush. When you deal with color and when you deal with brush style too, actually the placement of the brush, whether it's in full water or not, can make a scene very aggressive or not. The last page wasn't very aggressive. This one, this is going to be almost an argumentative panel. And this might be page 5 or 6. I'm not sure. This might be 6. But I'm going to bring in some tones that are going to be cold, I guess is the right word for it. But you'll see in a minute. I'm going to probably end up bringing in a purple here too, but we'll see with that. I have to grab that out of the box there, but you can see the aggressiveness of it. And you know, when it dry brush, it might cause it's just causing the mood. I'm trying to get it set to where the tone, like I said, the book, you're going to be looking at the colors, not thinking about it first, and then saying, oh, okay, you're going to be feeling the page before you read anything on it, if that makes sense. And I hope that it's making sense, because I think it's going to really work well. And again, I haven't put any, I haven't talked about panel placements yet or anything. This is just an overall tonal effect of what I'm trying to do. I'm going to grab, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to grab some purple here. Hold on 1 second. Just get a tonal purple, maybe actually ultramarine blue. That's what I'm going to use. So let's see what we got here. Just to give it a little bit more of a kick. Yeah, the only troubling thing about these hour back to the drawing board is I have to have stuff dry. I can't keep working on it because it'll get all muddy. So you guys just have to bear with me on that. So hopefully it's not too much of a trauma. I'm really going to fill this one up with pigments. So this is going to be a little bit, oops. Again, we're just trying to build an aggressive palette to where you're dragging the brush over and you're causing it almost to be like a ghost image in a way. I kind of have a sensibility about what I'm trying to do with this. Is a scary thought, but I think that I think that you guys are getting the gist of it. Very cold tones, almost frigid in a way in some respects, but you'll see when it's set in stone, you guys will be like, oh, okay, cool, that's looking good or not. You decide. That's why they call it art. I'll flare it here a little bit here. Give it some pizzazz here. Give some dirt. And don't be afraid of it either. You do what you guys think is going to be the ultimate for the work. Not necessarily. Don't be afraid of experimenting a little bit when it comes to art. No matter what, if you're making a comic book or writing a book. I do like abstract art. You guys know that, obviously. I think you know that. And I do a lot of abstract art. But I think I think the abstract is probably the most truthful art. It's easy to draw something that's there. That's the way I always look. I'm not taking anything away from anybody that's an artist. I'm just saying it's easy. It's easy to, I see a lot of. That's why I love the impressionists so much, or abstract artists, because they draw something or they create something it's from the ether, literally. It's not. That's what we do. I mean, as far as comic books are concerned, or as far as writers, we create something that's not there. It's there, but it's not in reality. And then we bring it to reality. We're quite the magicians when you think about it. Mail call's not here yet. I thought maybe she'd be here by now, but not here yet. God, I can't believe it's already been 45 minutes. It's crazy. You guys are awesome for sticking with me so long. Thanks. If you guys could like and share this, that would be really, really helpful. Appreciate it greatly. And I really do mean that, because I know a lot of you share this out, and it means the world to me. There's a, you know who you are. So, okay. So a lot of this on this particular page is going to be centrally located on this. You'll see this. I'm probably going to divide this one up into four. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe one across the top, 3 on the bottom, something. I'll figure it out. But as far as the placement goes for this, you'll understand the shapes once I start building it out again. Once it dries, that's I know Glenn, is his artwork is he likes to erase the pencil lines. That's like he just loves it. Part of the experience. What I like to see is once the watercolors dry, how the water and the pigment work together, and then had this effect. It's amazing. How you doing, Ashley? It's just a really, I just love the fact that we don't know what to expect with watercolor. We somewhat can control it a little bit, but the beauty of it all, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is that I just I have a passion for this watercolor. And once it's dried and you see it for what it is, it's completely, it's truth. Boom. That's it. It's physics at its And that's it. So yeah, we didn't do much on the panels, but let's see what's happening as far as the dry time on the other stuff. I'll just bring this up real quick. So yeah, so you're seeing the shadow lines on this for page 3. They're going to be next week. We'll get into I might end up drawing this depending on what I've got for time this week. You'll be seeing more ink lines on this as far as the characters, what's happening, glasses. There's a lot of things going on here, but you can see it once it starts once it really starts flowing. You'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's really gonna look good. And then once I scan it and then actually do some digital work to it, you'll see the vignette work that I'm going to put around it. It'll look really, really sharp. And once I add the extra paper pieces and the framework, I think you guys are going to dig it. So let's see the lighter version. Before we get into that, this is going to be, you can see how pretty the colors are coming out on this. I mean, they're really going to be, once it's dry, though, I'm going to add a little bit more pigment to it, and it's going to really be a little bit darker, a little bit richer. But I think it's really going to make a statement on that page. It's going to change the tone of what's being said on the page and everything. So really excited about that. And then of course this one, this will be so when it should be a feast, a feast for the eyes once you start getting into the comic book and you're seeing each page in full color. It's going to be, I think it's just going to be awesome. I think it's really going to be it's going to be something new, fresh, and it's going to be really good storytelling because of the tonal work on the colors first. So that's at least my take on it. So let's get back to, that's cool. That's about it. That's what we got for right now. Let's see. I know we got Comics Unlimited podcast this week. I know that we're going to be talking about the new book. This is book 9, like we talked about. Book 10 will be coming out. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a reveal on Thursday of what's coming out for this week. Possibly we can talk about that, Glenn, later today. Oh, there we go, Eric. I can see the title of the show, The Drunk Writings of Carl. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of rough. That might be a little rough. Like Glenn said, but yeah, I think you could do it, Carl. I think it'd be great. The one-shot storyteller. I think that would be a great name for it. Something like that. That would be really good. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot going on this week. We have a lot happening right now. I got weddings planning for my kids. I've got all kinds of stuff going on. So plus this book, and we've got a couple galleries, things that are happening with galleries with my artwork, and there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. So, yeah, so I appreciate you guys stopping in, taking some time out of your day, starting out your week, hopefully the right way early in the week. Let me know, if there's anything we can help you out with these, as far as the comics go, like we said. Hold on, let me find them here. We've got the Green Arrow, like we talked about. Green Arrow, Green Lantern. We got the Batman and Robin. Another great. I'm so glad we got these pressed and cleaned and actually sealed up. And then of course we've got the Werewolf by Night. So these, I mean, this is what's nice about the collecting side of it. Now you've got something that's encased. It's literally it's a time machine for everybody now. So, and I hope you guys hope you enjoy the show. Hope you enjoy what we're doing here. So thank you for stopping in. Please like and share this out. That would be awesome. Follow me on all of the things I've got going. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Ted Davies Artistry. Check it all out. There's so much going on. Thank you guys for stopping in. We will talk to you soon. And next week we'll continue to work on Retrieve Book 3. I'll have more details as it goes through and we're getting the paint down. We should have everything ready to rock and roll. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Don't work too hard.